Today is yoga for strength. If you have blocks or bands, grab them. They're handy. You don't have to have them. You can find something to use instead of a block, or instead of a strap or a band. But if you have them, they're handy. So we're going to get started today on our stomachs. Choice to go into crocodile or child's. So beginning on your ground, beginning in either crocodile or child's, and just starting to land on the mat. So some of the reasons why we do some of the poses in yoga is to generate a little discomfort, to see what happens. So yoga is a process of self-inquiry. So start inquiring, what's going on? What happens when you cover your face and make yourself vulnerable with your back exposed? What happens to your breath? What happens to your face? Are you able to surrender into the ground a little more? Perhaps with each breath in, breathing in fresh, and with every breath out, just surrendering and softening a little more into the ground, letting the ground support you. And if you're in crocodile, connecting to that point right in the center of the forehead where your hand meets your forehead. If you're in child's, perhaps bringing two fists, one fist on top of another, and placing the forehead down, just so you have that connection point of the forehead. And starting to bring all of your awareness here. So slowly taking in the sounds and the smells and the noise of the room, the feel of the room, and then drawing your awareness closer and closer and closer to just that point in your forehead. Beginning to tune out everything else and just land right here. Right in this present moment, feeling your hand on your forehead. Feeling your breath move your body. Beginning to allow your breath to move your body without restriction. So soften the muscles. Release any gripping in the neck, in the face, in the shoulders. And for the next few breaths, perhaps saying to yourself, I am. And trying to allow that to be a complete sentence, trying not to let your cognitive mind try to end that sentence with something. Maybe even attaching it to your breath, if you're able to do that without forcing the breath when you start to bring awareness to it. So the inhale, I. Exhale, am. Inhale, I. Exhale, am. And whenever your cognitive mind begins to come in, try to finish the sentence. Just return just softly. I am. And then we'll also begin to bring the awareness to the physical body. And just take some wiggles of the feet. Maybe softly sway the hips side to side. If you're not in crocodile already, move into crocodile. And then pick up your right leg and imagine someone pulled it a little longer and let it place back down on the ground. Pick up your left leg, imagine someone pulled it a little longer, place it back down. Just give your hips a little shuffle, make sure the lower back is not gripping. And then bring your hands to wherever they're comfortable, just for balance. We're not lifting with our hands. We're going to inhale, lift our shoulders, exhale, lower. And as you begin to connect with the muscles in the back line, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Try to tune in and find the muscles that make this movement happen. And try to use them evenly, not lifting the head, but lifting the shoulders. Check in to see if your low back wants to do all the work. Check in to see if your glutes want to do all the work. Try to keep the backs of the legs, the glutes, the whole back working. Nice and slow and moving with the breath. And maybe you're ready to begin to lift your arms, bend the elbows, bring the elbows behind you and down towards the hips. Maybe you can begin to lift the toes. And remember, we're just trying to connect with the back line, using the muscles of the back line. There's no goal, there's no height or arch that we're looking for. We're just looking to engage. So sometimes holding lower is even harder. Holding in a lower position, engaging the muscles to keep you lifted. Trying to get long in the spine, imagining you're making space for the vertebrae. And then bring it back to crocodile. Shimmy the hips. Take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, surrender and let go. Notice any muscles that are talking to you. Imagine sending your breath to those muscles, allowing them to ungrip. And then take your fingertips wide from the shoulders, landing the fingertips on the ground. And we're just going to turn and move through upper back. So we're going to turn and look towards our right foot. Let the left shoulder move as it will, maybe coming center. And then turn and look at the right foot. So turning, moving through the spine. This time not muscular action, just going through range of motion and having an internal experience of how your upper body feels right now. Looking at the muscles of the neck, looking at the muscles of the shoulders, muscles of the upper back. Try to keep the back soft. Inhale as you come through center. Exhale as you lean down. Look towards a foot. And then bring your hands in underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Press your knees into the ground, lift the pelvis a little bit, and then as if you're being pulled by your tailbone, press into the forearms and press up to a forearm tabletop. So you may need to adjust once you get here. Find the position where your forearms feel secure on the ground, and you're going to feel like you're peeling your shoulders apart, peeling your elbows apart, peeling your hands apart. Whole forearm and chest and shoulder engagement. So this should already start to feel like a little work. Pull without letting your arms move. And then we're just going to take little small movements with the nose. Inhale forward with the nose. Exhale back with the nose. Toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever is comfortable for your knees. Try to keep a little tiny engagement for the stomach, just to watch for bowing in the back. Matching your breath with your movement. Inhale forward, exhale back, nice and slow and with control. We're looking to build strength. The slower you move, the less you're kind of moving through space, just throwing yourself through space. We're trying to find muscular action. And then sink the hips back towards the heels, but leaving them up. So then bring your forehead down. Release the tension in the neck. Still a mild engagement in the arms. So we're not just sinking into the joints, we're still a little engaged in the chest and shoulders. And then come all the way up to a regular tabletop. Warming through the wrists, taking the wrists weight left to right on the hands. Just kind of moving through the shoulders and the arms. Was that the rock?
Do you hear screaming?
Yeah, that was the guys downstairs. So just starting to warm up through the shoulders, arms, and wrists. Taking weight left to right. And again, just having an internal experience, starting to move in directions that feel good for your shoulders and body right now. Just moving the weight, maybe rolling the shoulders a little. Inhale as you come through center, exhale as you switch sides, and then maybe start to rock the hips back as you move. Inhale through center, exhale, rock the hips back, nice and slow and with control. Moving with your breath, tuning into what is going on inside your own body on your mat right now. And trying to really tune into the physical body for a while. Not listening to the cognitive head and the to-do list. Letting that do as it does. And just trying to feel the muscles. And then bring it back to center. Take the fingertips of the left hand, point them towards the knee with the palm up. And then just kind of feel like you're pulling the hand away from the knee. So a little bit of engagement without letting the hand move. And then switch sides. Fingertips of the right hand point towards the knee, palm up, and then pull the hand as if you're trying to pull it away from the knee. And then switch, bring it back to neutral. Bring your left fingertips to the ground and just start to take a little weight through the fingertips, feeling the hand in a different position, strength in a different position. And then fingertips down, bend like spider fingers. So bend the hand and take a little weight. Different position for your hand. And then right hand, fingertips down, fingers towards straight, without locking joints. And then bend into the fingers and take a little weight. And then if you want to play, bring both fingertips, both hands to fingertips, and take a little weight forward. See if you can strengthen the fingers, see how much you can hold. Watch for buckling. So if you're buckling, come on down. Buckling is not good. We're looking to be able to hold strength. So take just a tiny bit of weight till you see how much you can hold. Watch for buckling in the shoulders. And then sink the hips back, child's pose. Surrender. So child's pose, start to engage the hands. So you may need to lift your shoulders up, your head up a little. You're going to push your hands into the mat without letting them move. So push your hands away from you and then roll the shoulders a little bit. Nice soft circles with the shoulders. And if this is difficult, just bring your hands a little closer to you. Roll the shoulders. Pressing your hands into the ground. Lifting up. Circles with the shoulders. Did you get it? I don't know what Kaylee's doing back there. Come on back to tabletop. Find your hands in a comfortable position with a little bit of weight, and then we're going to circle our shoulders again. So nice, slow circles, as if we're trying to feel all the movements our shoulders can possibly make. And then we're going to start to build up onto the strength portion for our shoulders. So, beginning, you're going to have either your toes tucked or flat tabletop. Bring the weight into the left hand. So find the position where your wrist is super strong and comfortable. It may not be so close to your knee. It may be out a little, wider than your shoulder. Find the position where you're strong. Take your right hand to fingertips. Lift up. Strong stomach, strong shoulders. This strong shoulder is really, really strong. Inhale as you lift right arm up. Open. So this right shoulder moves. Lift, open, bring it down with the exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down.
What is this supposed to be working?
Right shoulder, left shoulder. Plus you're in a little bit of twisting action. So lift up out of the shoulder. You should be moving around the shoulder. If you're ready to pump this up, bring it back to neutral, take a little reset. Next set, either repeat where you're at if you're working through the shoulder here, or tuck the toes, lift and hover the knees. So bring the weight into that left hand nice and strong, right fingertips to the ground. Inhale, lift right arm up, open the shoulder, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down, don't lock the elbow. Inhale up, exhale down. If you're ready to go even further, take the legs long to a plank. You can move through the feet and the hips. We're working through the shoulder. Bring that right hand down, lower the knees if you brought them up, and go to child's pose. Flip the palms up towards the ceiling. Surrender. Reset. Take a moment to peek in at left and right shoulders. Notice differences. And then bring it back up to tabletop, this time setting up for the right side. And not placing your right hand exactly where the left hand was, but where you can feel comfortable in the wrist and shoulder and arm on the right hand. But we are not equal. Left and right sides are not equal, so don't force yourself into equal positions. So left fingertips down, set up first. Inhale, lift, open up this right shoulder. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, lift left hand, exhale down. So really moving through the shoulder. The shoulder should be moving. Bring the left hand down and take a little reset. Move the weight left to right. Find your breath. Set up for the next set and either repeating what we just did or tucking the toes. Lift and hover the knees, stomach engaged. Take the weight strong into the right hand. Inhale, lift left hand. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Should be feeling this on the inside of the right shoulder. Watch for buckling. Bring it back down if you're buckling. Watch for your breath. If you cannot hold a steady breath, take it down on level. Maybe even pump it up all the way to plank. Wherever you're at, meet in child's pose. Reset. This time, maybe take the arms behind you And let the palms up, shoulders just kind of soften into gravity. If this is uncomfortable and you want to place something underneath the forehead, go ahead. You can always use a yoga block or towel. Bring it on back to tabletop. If your shoulders are tired, bring your blocks, yoga blocks forward and bring your arms to forearms so you can let your wrists relax. Your shoulders will still be engaged, but a little bit different positions, maybe a little bit easier. We're gonna take our right leg out even with the hip. Nice and strong and engaged. No buckling into the shoulder, lift up. Engage the stomach so the back's not buckling. Hold the right leg up. Bend the right knee. And then little pumps at the heel to the ceiling. Slow and controlled. Take the tension out of the neck. Lower the toes of the right foot and press through the heel. Little pulses. Still engaged in the chest and shoulders a little bit, just to protect from buckling. And then lift the right leg again. Bring the right foot towards the right shoulder. Lift and hover. Hold. Watch for buckling. And you may need to bring your hands back up to be able to hold it. Find the place where you can hold. Right leg up. Should be using right hip. Lower the right toes. Set up first. So get really strong in the shoulders. Lift it up out of the wrists. Lift it up out of the shoulders. Toes are on the ground of the right leg. And then we're going to inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, lower. So inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Things to watch for. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Things to watch for: the lower back doing all the work. You want it in the right hip. So you don't want to have the lower back doing any work. And watch how your leg is moving. Maybe you're really moving the hips around to get the leg higher. It is better for you to engage the muscles and only lift a millimeter off the ground than it is to just swing the body around in space. We're trying to connect with the muscle. We're trying to find muscles that are weak and work them. Plant the right foot down. Bring the upper body up onto the left leg. Hold, so gate pose. This is what it looks like. Lift up nice and strong and tall. If you need to put something under the knee, go ahead. We're going to connect with the breath first. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, open. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Inhale, lift this time. Exhale, drop the right hand towards the right ankle. And lift the left hand up to the ceiling and then over. Take the tension out of the neck. Try not to take the weight into this right hand. It just rests. Maybe turn the palm up so you remember not to press into that right leg. So connecting with opening on the left side body. Breathe. Watch for tension in the neck. Slowly bring the left hand down even with the knee. Find a place where your left wrist is comfortable. Toes are going to touch with the right leg. Get really strong in the core first. Right hand can stay on the hip. It can lift up and counter pull you to the sky. We're going to inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Imagine you're lifting from the heel just to remind yourself to keep the whole leg engaged. So pull that heel up out of the ground. Lower the right foot down and slowly bend the knee. Make your way back to a tabletop position. Take a little reset with the weight left and right and really check in with the hips. See how they feel. Maybe sway them side to side. Notice left and right sides. Notice maybe right in that right hip is a little burny. Surprised Kaylee's not yelling at me already.
Wait until Shavasana's time.
I'll let you do tantrum pose at the end. All right, so we're gonna set up with tabletop again. So again, make sure you find the position you can hold, strengthen your shoulders. Maybe use your forearms down on the blocks. Maybe you just hold tabletop and change your arm position. If you change the position of your hands, you're gonna use the muscles in a slightly different way. So maybe take your hands wider, find the position you can hold nice and strong, and then take the left leg out and hold it long. Watch for your buckling. Pull the stomach towards the spine. Pull the chest up and strong. Watch for tension in the neck. I have a hairball. I have a hairball. I'm not sure. It's probably a dog hair. It's probably a fluffy hair in my throat.
Ew.
It just, ew. Bend the knee and take the left leg up to the ceiling, left heel to the ceiling. Little strong pulses, not throwing your limbs in space, connecting to your muscles. Find that mind-body connection. This is not a gym class that you're just trying to get through. We're trying to find that self-inquiry. Let your body be your teacher. And then lower, take the leg long, lower the toes, press through the heel. Little pulses. And then set up again nice and strong. Lift and hover the left leg and slowly bring it towards the left wrist. Hold and hover. Watch for your buckling and watch for your compensation patterns. Try to make this in the hip, not the low back. Maybe squeeze your stomach a little more just to remind your back to turn off. Really trying to hold the leg with the hip. Hold and hover. And then lower the toes. We're going to set up, maybe change the position of our wrists. Find the place where you're strong and you know the leg is going to be lifted with the hip. Not so much the stomach, not the low back, not kind of wrenching. I know Kaylee can sometimes do it with her shoulder. We're trying to lift the leg with the hip muscle. So inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Don't worry about how high the leg is going. We're working the muscles. Try not to sway the hips around. We're just trying to use top of the left hip. Breathe. Match your movement to your breath. Connect with your body. And then lower the left toes down. Bring the body up until you're up on the right leg. So we're going to turn so you can see us, gate pose. And we're going to connect with the breath. Whew. Inhale up. Exhale. Open the chest. Open the arms. Inhale. Exhale. Enjoy your breath breaks. This time, inhale up. Allow the left hand to drop down, palm up so you remember not to use it, and then push the right arm up and over, opening up right rib cage. Watch for pushing and locking the knee. We're not working the leg so much here. We're not worried about the leg. So try and just have the leg comfortable and strong and supportive for balance. Breathe into the right rib cage. Slowly come back through center. You're going to place your right hand somewhere about even with the right knee. Set up so your wrist is strong. Your wrist is comfortable, arm is strong. Left toes down. Engage the core first. So engage, pull the stomach strong. And then inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Lower the left toes and slowly make your way back to a tabletop position. Take a little weight exchange through the hands. Sway the hips side to side. Just take a little reset. See how you feel. Notice left and right sides. Perhaps they feel the same. Perhaps they feel different. Inquire. Let your body be your teacher. Have an internal experience, feeling how you feel. If you have a band, option to wrap the band around the forearm. You don't need it. But if you don't have the band, or if you want to skip it, press your hands into the ground and just imagine that you're pulling your forearms away. So pulling into a band, even if you don't have it. I see Kelly's gonna skip it. So engage, tuck the toes, pull the stomach towards the spine, and then lift and hover the knees. Get really long and strong in the spine. So pull the stomach up. Try not to pull. So one of the things we do is we pull the shoulders round, pushing the chest so far we round the shoulders. That's not what we're doing right now. It's not that that's wrong. It's not what we're doing. So pull your arms into the band, lift and hover, and get really strong in the arms and shoulders, and then send the hips back to your down dog. Still engaged. So notice it may be a different position for your arms and shoulders for down dog. It's kind of what we're looking for. Not that one position is right or wrong. Try to let go of the shoulds and the should nots and have an internal experience. Try to take the tension out of your neck, warm up the legs however you like. Sway the hips, feel the side body, find your breath. Bend the knees, look towards the hands, trying to retain that engagement as if you're pulling into the band if you're not already pulling into a band. Tippy toe your toes towards your hands. Tippy toe up, bend in the knees, allow the feet to come underneath the hips. Land, try to keep that engagement into the band or just imagining it. Let your torso find your thighs and then start to lift the hands up and engaging nice and slow. Come all the way up as slow as you can to stand with that engagement. Arms do not have to come overhead. They can come just in front of your shoulders. Breathe and hold. Feel the connection of your arms into the band or pulling your arms away without letting them move. And then see if you can do the same with your feet. So a little bend in the knees, pull the feet apart, engage the whole legs, and then let the band go. And flick out the shoulders, trying to retain that engagement in the whole leg. Flick the arms, flick the shoulders, trying to stay engaged in the legs. Find your breath. Keeping that engagement, connect with the breath. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, prayer to heart. Bring your prayer to heart, trying to keep that engagement like you're pulling the feet apart. Legs are engaged. Find your prayer at heart. Find your center. And then we're gonna take the weight left and right and just a small movement in the hips. So pushing your weight over to the right edge of your hips, of your foot, and then back over to the left edge. Right edge, left edge. It's almost like your pelvis does a little bit of a U shape, but you're not moving far. Just moving left and right, trying to feel outer edges of the feet, outer edges of the ankles. You can bring your hands out if you are not already tired in the shoulders. Little soft movement. It's not. There's a long time to go. And then gently step your feet out a little wider. Maybe about mat distance apart. Engage your legs again. So pull them out apart with your feet. This fires up the muscles. They shouldn't be loose. And then we're going to place our hands wherever they're comfortable. I like them on the hips. We're going to take our hips left and right, just moving through outer edges. Pushing the weight onto the outer edge of the foot, almost like the pelvis comes in a little U shape, starting to feel the muscles of the legs and the hips. Not soft, so try to make this strong. Try to find engagement in the legs as you make this movement. Imagine you're ice skating right now and your life depends on actually having muscles in your legs.
Does your life really depend on it when you ice skate?
Yes, because if you fall, you're going to cut yourself open. It doesn't always, but ice skating can be dangerous. If you want to pump it up, you're going to take your arms out, make your torso longer. Start to bend one knee at a time. And then bring it back to center. Torso up. Step it back in. And connect with the breath, this time soft. Inhale up. Exhale, prayer to heart. Inhale up. Exhale, prayer to heart. One more time. Take a big step back so that you're open and you can see the screen, whichever way that is. You're going to open up the feet. If you have the block, find the block. We're going to open up the feet, toes out, heels in, not locking the knees. Find the feet. Take that little bit of engagement first. So we're going to feel like we're drawing the feet towards each other without letting them move. And then take a little side sway with the hips. This time a little tiny movement. Trying to find the inner thigh. And then bring the hips center. Fold forward with a long, long, long torso. Try not to lock the knees. Finding where you can hold steady. So if you have the feet closer together, you're going to feel it more in the back of the legs. If you have them wider apart, you're going to feel it more in the inner thigh. So make your choice of which one you prefer today. You can wiggle your feet out or in. Take the tension out of the neck. Maybe rest on your block, torso long. And you can take this static and just breathe in to where you're at. Or take a little teeny side sway of the hips left to right. Trying to take this movement into the inner thigh space, not through the back. Find your breath. And then wiggle your feet in just a little bit, turning the toes out. Work your way slowly down to Malasana Yogi Squat. Place the block in under your hips if you have it. So find the place, wiggle around, find a place where ankles and feet are comfortable. We're not working ankles and feet right now, working hips. If you're going to bring your hands to your thighs, bring your thighs back into your hands. So push both ways. So push your thigh into your hand, thigh into your arm, arm into thigh. Get really tall in the spine. Breathe. Bring your hands behind your legs. Really tall in the spine. Hands are going to be active. And then take your head a little bit over to the right and a little bit over to the left. Moving through the shoulders. Moving through the torso. Stomach engaged. And then wiggle your feet in. Release your block. And land in a seat. So take your legs out in front and wiggle the legs, let go. Wiggle like jelly, up and down, left and right. Trying to let the muscles soften and loosen. It's that hairball in my throat.
That's really gross. Stop eating Fluffy's hair.
Well, I can't help, she's so snuggly. Alright, bring the soles of the feet together, not too close to the hips. And then draw the knees down with your muscles. So, hands are just for support. Get really tall with the spine. And then pull the knees down with your own muscles, not your hands. Pull them down.
Cracked my toe.
Leaving the right leg where it is with that same amount of engagement, bring the left leg up. Bring it out, wiggle it out, and then slowly turn the left knee in. So move the body left knee in, and then bring it back. Bring the left leg back to meet the right. Draw the knees down. Take the right foot out. Wiggle it out a little more slowly. Roll the right knee in. And then back. Bring both feet out wide. Legs out wide. Long in the torso. Press the heels down without pushing the knees down. So press the heels down and then push the balls of the feet away from you. Pull the toes back. And then pull the toes back to the shins. So just moving through the legs, nice and slow. Push the feet away from you. And then take the feet in and out. Just working through the ankles, trying not to lock the knees, strong legs. Slow movement, feeling the muscles of the feet. Maybe even looking at the feet to see what's going on, have that connection. And then make your way down to your back. So bring your knees into your chest, wiggle around, softly land on the ground. Start to notice how you feel, really checking in with your physical body. Take your right knee over your left. Bring your knees in towards the chest. Bring the feet to opposite shoulders. Maybe rest your hands under shins, looking for that right hip space underneath the glutes, piriformis muscle. Beginning to turn off fight or flight, letting the muscles soften. Start to soften your breath. Maybe even breathing in and sighing out a couple of times. Letting go. Slowly switch left over right and bring feet to opposite shoulders. So you can play with this position, play with the angles. As long as you're not forcefully yanking on your legs with your hands, you can move your feet around, find the position, Move your hips a little. Find where you feel the warmth in the glute area. On the left side this time. Breathe. Let go. Slowly unwind. Bring both feet to the ground, knees up. And allow the knees and the hips to softly roll side to side, letting go. Loosening and softening, feeling the hips. And then a little cellular reset for the hips. So, option to press into the feet and lift the hips like a paper width off the mat. Just a couple of millimeters off the mat. Lift and lower. So lift and let them sink and lower. Drop. You're looking for the vibrations. Left and lower, letting all the muscles around the hips and the legs vibrate and reset. Maybe take a left and right. See which one feels better. Kaylee likes up and down. I like left and right. So the weight exchanges left to right. Letting everything wiggle as if it were a bowl of jelly. Wiggle, 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 soften. Let that cellular reset happen. Take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, suddenly let go and land on the ground wherever you land. And then make sure the knees and the ankles and the hips are comfortable, and we'll do a cellular reset for the shoulders. So bring the hands down onto the ground, palms down, not close to the hips, so about halfway between the hips and the shoulders. Press left and right on the weight, trying to get those wiggles to happen through the shoulders. Maybe even starting to get it all the way up into the head and through the chest, maybe down into the stomach, letting the wiggles happen, letting the reset happen. Shaking. Why do animals, why do children shake? Because it gets rid of excess. It lets the body reset. Take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, land wherever you land. And then I promise Kaylee, tantrum pose. Take your feet up in the air wherever they're comfortable, and your hips and back are comfortable. Take your hands in the air, and then really shake everything out as if you were a child having a tantrum. Shake and loosen everything out. Watch for tension in the face. Really shake. Get rid of anything left. And then take a deep inhale, and with the exhale, just land wherever you land. Find your breath. Make a decision about where you would like to be for your final resting pose. Let go of what you think is the perfect resting pose. Let go of what you think you have to do. Let go and let your body be your teacher. Let your body tell you where it should be today, to let the tension rest and remove itself from your body. So Shavasana pose is often called corpse pose, trying to get us to the closest we can to that absolute corpse. We're not holding any more tension in our body. Everything is let go. It's the purpose of this pose, the purpose of ending your practice here, is to find all the tension that you've generated, find all the tension that you came with, and then trying to let it release from the body. So find the position your body needs to be in to really get rid of all that excess tension. Maybe you're in child's pose, maybe you're in a fetal position, maybe your legs are in a chair, whatever that is for you. Let go of what you think it has to be. Let go of all of the tension around the breath, all of the tension in the muscles of the face, tension in the neck, tension in the shoulders, tension in the hips. Soften, loosen. Let the ground support you. And today I pulled an affirminator, the unicorn cards we use in the studio. Everyone's a teacher. Everyone I cross paths with is a teacher in that moment. The ones who give me the fun lessons are the ones I call friends. The ones who give me the hard lessons are the ones I call smeggheads. These have curse words in them. They've chosen a tough job, but someone's got to do it. So today I'm thanking all of the smeggheads. Thank you, smeggheads, for playing your part in making me a better person. I thought that was a great card for Hump Day. So as we start to settle in and rest and release, perhaps thinking about being grateful for the difficult people in our lives. Not because that means we accept them treating us poorly or we accept that it's okay for people to treat us terribly, but that we can accept just who they are and that they may be on their own path and they may be struggling. And they may not even see the difficulties that they give you or teach you. So for this practice, we're going to bring to mind something that we can easily love, someone or something, someone not too much terrible or difficult emotion surrounding this person or thing. So you can bring a puppy to mind, often the easiest, because we often have less interactions that are difficult with puppies. And bring them to mind. Picture them right in your mind's eye. Paint in a picture very clear and notice how it starts to feel in the physical body. Really connect to the sensation in the physical body wherever it is that you feel it. To this image that is easily loved by you. I get to cheat because I got 4 dogs, so it's easy for me to bring my puppy to mind. I'm hardly ever upset with them. Connect with the physical sensation. And then pick one difficult person in your life and bring them to your mind's eye, trying to retain that physical sensation that you had with your first image. And imagine just pushing that physical sensation towards the image of the person. If you're visual, you can imagine taking that energy and wrapping the person in it, maybe giving it a color or texture. If you're a very physical person, just take the physical sensation and imagine sending it forward to that person. Whatever helps you connect with the concept of just sending them a little unconditional kindness. Notice perhaps the vision of this person changes. Maybe even begin to see them softening. And then let that soften away. And try to see yourself in front of you. Right now, not as some other point in time, but yourself. Right now in this present moment. Notice and take a mental note of any little cognitive or ego judgments that come up, any little nagging voices. Just notice them. And just try to see yourself. And then see if you can wrap yourself in that same unconditional kindness. And then for the next few breaths, next few minutes, surrendering and resting into your mat. If you have the time to take a little more time in your resting pose, go ahead and spend as much time as your body needs in your resting pose. If you need to finish up on the 60-minute mark, we're coming right up on that. Just begin to bring little gentle movements to your physical body. Take in the sounds in your environment and land in the room. If you're not there already, try to curl up in a ball in a fetal position on whatever side is calling to you. And in the fetal position, imagine wrapping yourself in that unconditional kindness as if you were wrapped in a little bubble, completely surrounding you with unconditional kindness. Soak it in towards your heart center. Imagine recharging yourself with so much unconditional kindness that you have so much to give back out. And then try to end your practice coming to a seated position with your hands of prayer. Completing your practice in a little ritual, bringing your left and right sides to meet in front of your heart. Connecting with the concept of accepting yourself as whole and complete, precisely as you are. May we all know a little unconditional kindness and a little connection. Thanks for joining us.